Morning everyone. Today you find us at Carfest, and my apologies for not doing a video from the Goodwood Festival of Speed, but for one reason or another, mainly myself, wasn't quite in the right shape to do it. So what I thought I'd do is one from Carfest featuring the cars brought here by Slowly Sideways UK. I'll walk you along and talk to you a little bit about each car. Some of them are fairly self-explanatory, so I won't bore you to tears with that. There's some real gems here actually, and possibly two of the biggest gems you can see in the background are service vans, and we'll start with those. So this first one is a replica of the HB Audi team service vans based around VW LT35s and the like from the 80s, and this one matches very nicely the Stuart Bowes Quattro. What a beast, look at that. So if you're ever lucky enough like myself to have seen these in action in the mid-80s, probably 85, 86, you remember what an absolute monster these were coming down the stage. Flames spitting, chattering away. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful car. And if you step back and look at the pair of them together, that's perfection in van and car form right there, isn't it? Sitting behind it is an X-Works Delta. One of the very last. This one is owned and run by Justin Law. If any of you ever go to the Festival of Speed, Justin's the guy that you'll regularly see on the hill in XJ220s, Jaguar XJRs, Group C ones and the like. Very, very quick guy. Very, very quick car. And if you're down at Carfest, you'll see Justin doing 1,000,001 donuts. Moving along slightly is this really, really pretty Mark 1. I'm a sucker for Mark 1, as anyone that knows me will tell you. And behind that, it's another period van, Mark 1 Transit, exactly as you'd have seen back in the day. The really nice thing about this car is it's owned by the son of none other than Gordon Spooner. And Gordon Spooner was the man back in the day that built these cars, along with many others at Boreham. And then moving on into the 80s and 90s, Gordon Spooner was GSE Engineering, who ran people like Gwyndev Evans in the F2 RS2000s. So Gordon's had a hand in this one and in his retirement, and his son's built the van. Very, very nice package, the pair of them together. Look at the difference, 20 years apart. They're like worlds apart, aren't they? Turning round is Tim Bendel from Slowly Sideways Toyota. Intrinsically, it's Super 2000, would have been run in South Africa, sort of early to mid noughties. You didn't really see these over here very much. I know RED and Widnes had a couple very similar, but it's a unique car, makes a fantastic sound. If you ever see a video of it running, keep your ears and eyes open. This one's a favourite of mine, and it's one I should have sat in last year, but something cropped up, which was a shame. John Pritchard's Lotus Sunbeam built them as an exact replica of the 1980 RAC winning Henry Toivonen car. Intrinsically, there's no difference in the car, and even the number plate's nearly the same, just a W where a V should be. John's a very successful driver, ex-Skoda Trophy champion, Fiesta Sporting Trophy champion in 2010 or 2011, I can't quite remember, apologies John. Really knows how to throw that about. And to its right, or our left, is Andy Crick's Quattro. Slightly earlier version, monster of a car off the line. We've been lucky enough to sit behind it off the line several times this weekend. Lights its wheels up and goes, chattering away to itself. I've got a particular soft spot for Quattros, and I think I've told a few people in the past that my uncle had a road-going sport Quattro back in the day, as his company car of all things. Next to it, there's my son in it, that's our car, the 309. I won't bore you to tears about that, it's fairly self-explanatory what it is. But there you go. Resplendent in its livery and the work that Rally Prep down in Cornwall did on it to get it just like it is for us. Next to us, another very famous car. This is Steve Ward's Mark 1 Escort, ex-Hannu Mikkola. Steve keeps that in stunning condition, isn't afraid to drive it. That was another one that was at Festival of Speed the other week. The strangest ones on this wing, and I must ask Steve about it, is this name. Michael Crawford. So that would have been round about the time that he was in Some Mothers Do Have 'Em. So if it is the same one, we'll have to ask Steve about that. It's another rarity that you don't really see back in the day or now. Calibra. Unfortunately, it's not really run very much this weekend. But if anyone can remember, they came out at the same time as the Escort Cosworth and the early Impreza. And whilst the power figures went a million miles off, they just didn't really stand a chance against specially developed rally cars. But that said, something I've also had a soft spot for. Very pretty car, a Calibra. Another one needs no introduction. Very famous car, and it's done the demo circuits for years and years now. It also gets used on gravel at places like the Festival of Speed. Like everybody loves a Rotham's Escort. Best from Mark II Escort? Probably. This is one that's relatively recently rebuilt. Nigel Hepburn 6R4, which was Roger Clark's 87 National Championship car. Now I'm old enough, sadly, to remember seeing that car on the 87 Skip Brown, and ironically that's the livery that it's still carrying now. It's a real feast for memory lane, this for me, I have to admit. But it's beautiful to see them so nicely rebuilt and with such history. Steve Chamberlain's Group A Eva. It's probably only on its 4th, 5th event. Absolutely immaculate. If you ever see Steve at an event, go and have a look at it. We'll have to have a chat with you about it. It's an absolutely stunning car. It's something that you don't really see too often. It's an era of car that you haven't really seen get restored too much, but they're catching on quite quickly. A little bit overlooked with Impreza WRCs and the like. Next to it, a real odyssey, owned by Andy O'Shea. It's a Ginetta. Now what you won't remember, or some of you may, is Ginetta had ideas to come and start rallying in probably 04, 05, 06. And they built a couple of these. The last time I actually saw one competing, that's Steve you can hear in the background, last time I saw one competing properly would have been 06 RAC Rally, which I think is the one that's carrying the stickers. Indeed it is. Never really caught on, which was a great shame, but it could have been a great car because they're a cute little thing.
So that's a Ginetta. Ginetta make everything from like small cars to small cars.
And this one's from close to my heart. I always like the weird and wonderful, hence why I've got the 309. Simon Daly's Skoda Fabric. It competed on the 93 RAC as a works car. See on the plate, 93. Simon's probably had it now 5, 6 years, something like that. It's exactly as is, and you've got all sorts of nice, neat little touches when you look inside it. I'm a sucker for detail like that, period trip meters and the like. But these things really hold true to me because they were the clubman end of rally, and with the Skoda Trophy it was something you could aspire to, and in fact it's what John Pritchard won the prize drive in. Well, I think his was a Felicia by the time he actually got the prize drive. And it was something that every man in the street could actually have a go. You could go and pick one up for a few £1,000 build it and get yourself out on the RAC. Next to it, Stuart McLaren's Cadet GTE. I did the Roger Albert Clark last year, some of you may have seen that. Another very rare car. It was an Opel Team Sweden car back in the late 70s, and intrinsically it's as was. Have a look inside. Yeah, it is intrinsically as was, but it has had some modern changes to make it legal for competition now. Yes, that is a Countach, but it's not with us. And there's a Miura next to it. Poster cars, but we're not talking about those. We'll keep over here. And last but not least in our lineup, 911 GT3. A car that's, you may recall, sort of 6 or 7 years ago, Tutill's tried to get these to catch on. Very, very popular on the continent. Motorsport UK had a few issues with the safety side, with the size of the engines, and it made it quite hard to get them out in this country. But this one, it's done a fair bit. It does a lot of demonstration events. You can kind of see the events it's actually done there on the bonnet. The real crack crowd pleaser and something that should have been, sorry about the noise in the background, something that should have been grasped hold of wholeheartedly and embraced by the powers that be, but sadly it's just not been possible. And certainly the Tuthill version of it, I know they had a nightmare trying to get homologation to work on that, but nonetheless a beautiful noise, beautiful sight, a great shape. And there we have it, full lineup of cars, Slowly Sideways UK. Hope you enjoyed a little walk around. Have a nosy on YouTube. I can't actually do any filming outside because I'm driving, as you may have gathered. And if you're out in any events and you see our banners up, wander over, say hello. People are more than happy to let you sit in their cars, have a nosy about, and enjoy soaking in some nostalgia. And on that note, I shall leave you there and have a good day.